What's up, family? It's your man, Courtney Brown Jr. here. I know you guys might mostly know us here at Big Boss Filmworks for our work with the making of Motown Mafia, the book Motown Mafia, the rise and fall of an urban empire, memoirs of a kingpin's kid, and some of that work or some of the other stuff we're doing on YouTube. But we do, besides our interesting little family backstory, what us and our associates were into back in the day, we do have a lot of other things we do at Big Boss Filmworks, like the Getting Off Zero book, Starting Point of One's Dreams and Aspirations. And shout out to Ray Tatum, founder of Getting Off Zero down in Atlanta. If you guys are ever down there, make sure you check them out down on Peachtree Street at 5 Points. But that said, what I wanted to talk about is this whole kind of thing I'm seeing on YouTube, or quote unquote black YouTube, this A.D.O.S, I believe it is, American Descendants of Slaves. And I just kind of felt compelled to chime in on it. By academia, I am actually a historian. I went to all those fancy white people schools. No insult to my white friends or business partners, but I'm not talking to you guys right now. I'm talking to my people. American Descendants of Slaves. I get where you guys are coming from. I kind of do, but as a real historian, not even talking about the schools I went to, but just as a man who spends a lot of hours of his life always trying to gain more insight about the history of his people, how his people got in this situation, and what might be some possible solutions. And actually, some of the stuff in our opinions, of course, are in this book, Getting Off Zero, which is available at BigBossFilmworks.com. But more to the point, just for the record, and this is our quadcentennial, 1619, 2019, 400 years, the descendants of Africa being here in North America, right? So that's what's going on right now as we speak in 2019. The thing is, guys, 1619, right? Our ancestors got here in 1619. This country didn't become a country until 1776, right? So most of the descendants, most of our ancestors, when they got to these shores of this country, there wasn't even an America. So, I mean, if you want to be technical about it, what you should be calling yourself are descendants of a British colony. Because that's what really we were. Most of our experience as slaves in America, for lack of a better word, and we'll get to that point, it wasn't even a country. And the problem with separating ourselves from our other ancestors or cousins or other people who were victims of the Atlantic slave trade is you have to know that the likelihood of us being free in America without the pressures put on the global slave system through the revolt in Haiti and Toussaint Overture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines, that's what helped spawn the need for the British to get out of the slave trade and calls for the French, right? So you guys gotta know your history, and I'm not putting down, this A.D.O.S movement, but to be honest, a lot of it comes, I think, from lack of real understanding of history. And everyone is entitled to their opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. And there are some facts. What happened in Haiti had a great effect on us here. So for us to separate ourselves and the slave experience here in America from the slave experience in Haiti, it means that you don't understand that everybody came over on the same boat. It was just different stops. Some stopped in Brazil and Rio, some stopped in the Caribbean, some stopped in 1619 in Virginia. The Bahamas, only 50 miles away from Florida. And also, by the way, for the record, through most of our experience here as quote-unquote slaves in America, Florida wasn't even a state, right? It was a Spanish territory. So what, are we going to not include them? You can't. So now, are they different too? Are the people, blacks whose ancestors go back to Florida, are they different than us too? And then 50 miles away over in the Bahamas, the slaves there who were owned by the same plantation owners. So, and I guess my bigger point or bigger issue with the whole A.D.O.S movement is it seems to believe that somehow African Americans can get their affairs in order without the black world getting its affairs in order. We tend to do that sometimes, guys. We make ourselves and our problems very small. We get real tribal, It's a global system that oppresses blacks here in America, in Haiti, in Brazil, on the continent, in Europe, right? You can't fix that here in America. I'm not smart enough to be the one who thought about it. Dr. John Henrik Clark, Malcolm X, there's been plenty of quote unquote Pan Africans and people who of massive intellect who've tried to think this out. And they can't pass you. We won't rise in America and leave behind the rest of us, of our cousins in the Caribbean or in Africa. It won't ever happen like that. And it also distracts you from the fact that your cousins over in Africa have 30% of all of the world's remaining natural resources there. And you just might not want to disconnect yourself for that. We probably should be thinking more in terms of, like Brother Malcolm X was talking about, taking our case to the United Nations, because the same people who owe Africa owe the brothers in Brazil, they owe the brothers in the Caribbean, and they owe us. It's one people, one system, one problem, one love. Peace.